Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a simple cinematic and play it for only one time inside your level. But before we get started, please like this video and subscribe my channel for more Unreal Engine tutorials. Thank you. Alright, first I'm going to remove this player start from my level. So here I simply select it and remove it from the level by pressing delete button, and now I drag and drop my character blueprint into the scene, and here I search for auto pauses player and I set it to player 0, and now when I run the game the controller will automatically pauses this player character. Alright, now I'm going to add a trigger box into my level exactly where I want my cinematic to be played. So here first I click on this icon and I search for trigger box and place it here, and I scale it up. I set a scale to 5 and place it here, for example. And now I'm going to create a level sequence. So here I click on this icon and I click on add level sequence. Now I should select a location for my sequencer to be saved. So here I select this sequence folder and I name this sequencer, for example, test sequence. Alright, and now as you can see my sequencer is opened and I have this timeline right here. Now I'm going to add a cine camera. So here again I click on this icon and from cinematic section I click on cine camera actor, and as you can see right here I have this cine camera in my scene, and I also here I have this cine camera in this section, and now I drag and drop it into my sequencer, and as you can see now I can see the level through this cine camera. And here I want to create a simple camera movement animation. So I want, for example, my camera to move from this location into this location. Alright, so first I place it here, and in this section I create two keyframes, one for location and another one for rotation, and I place this in the beginning of timeline. First I create a keyframe for location here and for rotation. Now I drag my timeline to, for example, frame 120, and now I place this camera on my secondary location, for example here, and again here I add two keyframes for location and rotation, and here as you can see I have this simple camera movement animation. Alright, now here I open my level blueprint. I click on this icon and click on open level blueprint, and first I'm going to create a reference to my sequencer. So first I select my sequencer from the level, and here I right click and click on create a reference to test sequence, and now I select my trigger box and go back to level blueprint. Now here I right click and from this section add event for trigger box. In collision section I click on add unactive begin overlap and create an event, actually an actor begin overlap event for my trigger box. Alright, and here first I cast to my character blueprint, which in this case is BP underscore third person character. For object wildcard, I drag a node from here and search for get player character. Alright, now here I drag a node and add a do once node, because I want this cinematic to be played only once for the first time that my character overlaps this trigger box. And here I get my test sequence, the sequence that I just created reference, and here I drag a node and search for play, this one, play sequence player, and I connect it to here. Alright, now from this reference to my character, I drag a node and search for disable input node, because I want all of the inputs to be disabled when the cinematic is running. And now I want to play an anime montage, and here again I drag a node and search for play anime montage. Now I minimize this level blueprint and I go to content browser, and here I have this playing animation asset. I right click and create an anime montage. Now I go back to my level blueprint, and here I select this anime montage, and after this montage I again add a delay node, and after this delay node I want inputs to be enabled again, and here I search for enable input, but the duration of this delay should be exactly as long as this duration of this sequencer. So here I drag a node and search for get duration. So exactly after finishing this sequence, this cinematic, all of inputs will be enabled again. Alright, now I compile, and here I place my character exactly in front of this trigger box, and now I run the game, and as you can see, as my character overlaps this trigger box, this cinematic will start playing. But I think the camera gets too close to my character, so here again I open up this sequencer, and here I select all of secondary keyframes and remove them, and again I, for example, place it again on frame 120, and here in a, for example, this time in this position again I place location and rotation keyframes. Alright, now I run this cinematic again, and you can see the changes. And also, as I told you, this cinematic will be played only once when my character overlaps this trigger box, and as you can see, if I enter this trigger box again, this cinematic won't play. Alright, if this tutorial was useful for you, please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.